with some of the sauce. If I can get some of the soup, scoop some of the sauce off. Oh yeah, that smells really good. Oh, that is yummy. The chorizo is really juicy. I think it soaks up some of the juice and the broth. That's really soft and really nice, and the chicken is really soft. It just sort of melts in the mouth. Hi everyone, and welcome back to Gigi's Kitchen, and if you are new here then hello and welcome. My name's Alexis, and in today's video I want to share with you how to make my delicious slow cooker shredded chicken and chorizo dish. As I just mentioned, today I want to share with you how to make a really easy chicken and chorizo dish, I'm going to say, because this dish is quite versatile. You could have this with pasta or rice, or you can even have it with mashed potato if you want to, couscous, quinoa, any sort of grain or potato would be great. It's really easy to prepare and cook, and it doesn't take up much time, which is what I love about using a slow cooker. So the first thing I've done for this recipe is I have peeled, sliced and diced one red onion, and I'm just going to pop that into my slow cooker pot. And then I've also peeled and sliced and diced one carrot. Now in the original recipe I said to grate it. The reason I grate it is it tends to cook a lot better if it's grated, but today I forgot to grate it, I don't know why, and I have peeled, sliced and diced it. Also my son doesn't like it when it's all chunky, he prefers it when it's grated in there, but he'll have to live with it today, I'm afraid. So I have just sliced that carrot up and sliced and diced the carrot, and I'm just popping that into the base of the pot as well. And then I have one chorizo here, or about 100 grams of chorizo, that I just simply removed the skin. So I scored down the side of the chorizo and I peeled off the skin, and this just makes it a little less fatty. Now you probably want a bit of fat in this meal, but I don't want too much fat, and there is quite a lot of fat in chorizo anyway, so I did take off the skin. You don't have to if you don't want to. And then all I simply did was just slice it into sort of 1/2 centimetre pieces. It doesn't have to be an exact science, it can be roughly chopped, unless you're the sort of family who argue over who gets the bigger bits of chorizo, then you might need to slice it more evenly. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add 1 tin of tomatoes to that as well, and I'm going to add about 100 mils of stock. So I've got some chicken stock here. I'm just going to add about 100 mils. So I'm going to wash out the inside of the tin by swirling it around a bit and then pouring it into the pot, and that should hopefully get rid of a lot of the juice from the inside. I'm just going to pour a little bit more because there's some stuff at the bottom. So I'm just going to do that. It's about 100 mils. It doesn't have to be an exact science. And while I'm there, I'm just going to stir those ingredients together like so. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in about a teaspoon of ginger. You can add more if you prefer things spicier, obviously, but my son, he likes spice, but he doesn't like it too spicy. Neither do I, to be honest, so I only add a teaspoon. And I'm going to add a teaspoon of dried mixed herbs to that as well. And that will give it a lovely flavour, the dried mixed herbs. If you have got fresh growing in your garden at the moment, then lucky you. Please do use fresh if you want to. I do prefer to use fresh, but winter is here, so there's no more herbs in the garden at the moment. And now I'm going to add salt and pepper to that as well. So I'm going to add a touch of salt and a little bit of pepper. And then I've also got a tablespoon of tomato puree to add to this as well. So I'm just going to add in a tablespoon of tomato puree. And I'm also going to add in a tablespoon of coconut sugar. You can use maple syrup or you can use honey as well if you want to. The decision is yours. Just adds a little bit of sweetness to the dish. You don't actually have to add that at all if you don't want to, but I do like to try and get my son to eat foods, and I find that if I put things like a little bit of sugar in it, like coconut sugar or maple syrup, that aren't too bad for your system. I mean, they're still sugar, so they're still not great, but they tend to slide through the liver a lot easier than refined sugar does. So I always like to add a little bit to try and get him to eat sauces and things. I will reduce that when he's older, I promise you. But for now, a little bit of sugar doesn't go. What is it? A spoonful of sugar makes the medicine go down. So that's what I'm thinking in my murders. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some chicken thighs and drumsticks on the top of this. And these are going to cook while the sauce cooks underneath. And once that's done, I'll remove these and shred the chicken. So this is a shredded chicken dish, but I'm just going to cook them with the bone on in the pot. So I'm going to turn my pot onto high now, and I'm going to put the lid on. That's everything done, and I'm just going to leave that to cook. I've put the pot onto high, and I'm going to cook this for about 2 to 3 hours, but if you wanted to cook it for longer, then you could put it on low for 5 to 6 hours, and you'll know when the chicken's cooked because the juices from the chicken will run clear, and the meat will fall off the bones really easily as well. So yes, as I said, I'm just going to leave this to cook. The slow cooker has been on for about 3 hours now, so I'm just going to check the chicken and make sure it's cooked. So if I stick a skewer into the chicken and the juices come out clear, that means it's cooked. It was doing it earlier. Why is it not doing it now? Oh yeah, I can see some juices running out from over there, so it's definitely cooked. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this off and at the wall, and I'm going to leave this to cool, and then I'll come back and shred the chicken. I've left the chicken to cool for probably about 15 minutes. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this from the pot. I'm just going to put it onto a plate like so, and then once I've taken this from the pot, I will, if I can get it out without too much mess, I will start to remove the chicken from the bones. It should come off quite easily. It has been cooking here for about 3 hours, so it won't take too long. So I'm just going to go and get myself a fork and I'll start removing it. I've grabbed myself a knife and fork, and I'm just going to peel off the chicken skin. None of us really like the skin. I know there might be people out there thinking, oh my god, that's such a waste, but none of us really like the skin, so we normally just throw that in the bin. And I'm just going to, as you can see, the chicken is coming away from the bones quite easily here. So I'm just going to remove the chicken, and I'm going to put it onto this plate, and then once I've got off all of the chicken, I will shred it, and I will show you that in a moment. But I'm just going to continue to remove the chicken from the bones. I've removed the chicken from the bones, so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to push a fork into the chicken and then pull with another fork. So it literally becomes like pulled chicken, basically. So I'm just pulling at the chicken until it's all shredded. So I'm just going to continue to keep shredding this chicken with these forks. I have shredded the chicken as best I can, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop that back into the tomato sauce in there with the chorizo, and I'm going to mix those ingredients together. This is still quite warm, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop the lid back on and turn it on to keep warm. And while it's on keep warm, I'm going to go and cook some pasta, and at the end I will add some spinach to that. But first I'm going to cook the pasta as per the packet instructions. I have cooked off the pasta as per the packet instructions, but before I put the pasta into the chicken and sauce, I'm going to add in a handful of spinach, chopped spinach, and a handful of chopped coriander as well. So I'm just going to put that in, and I'm going to mix those around until they start to wilt down. And then of course I'm going to add the pasta to the sauce and not the other way round, and I'm going to stir these around as well, and then I will serve myself some of this and I will let you know how it tastes. It smells really good right now, so I'm sure it's going to taste amazing as well. So yes, as promised, I'm going to try a little bit now. It smells really good, so I'm going to try a bit of the chicken and a little bit of the chorizo as well, with some of the sauce. If I can get some of the soup, scoop some of the sauce off. Oh yeah, that smells really good. Oh, that is yummy. The chorizo is really juicy. I think it soaked up some of the juice and the broth. So that's really soft and really nice, and the chicken is really soft. It just sort of melts in the mouth. I'll go have another bit. That's so good. That is delicious. So yes, excuse me, talking with my mouth full, but needs must when the devil drives. I'm really looking forward to having this for my dinner this evening. And I just wanted to say, I didn't get rid of the bones, I got rid of the skin. I'm going to be using the bones in stock tomorrow. Never get rid of your bones, always use them in stock. I have about 3 new recipes coming very soon on how to oven bake bones and make stock from them in the oven as well. That's how you make this delicious slow cooker shredded chicken and chorizo, and that recipe I will link in the description box below for you. As I mentioned earlier, we're going to be having this for our dinner this evening, and it smells and tastes so good, I can't wait. So for now, that's it from me. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!